What's up, y'all? Splendid Radio on Farside TV. We had a couple technical difficulties, man. So the guest for the evening, man, it just it just goes down. It goes down like that sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? It's been a while since Jeremy and I got into these conversations about the world and everything that's going on. But for anybody who's not acquainted, my co-host is Jeremy Scippio, and he is originally from
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep.
Very close friend to
a
lot of people.
T Nava, the Free Nationals. That's the person who we went to. I would say high school, but we went to a performing arts school where we were. I think I met Ryan when we were 7. I think he was 8th grade. I was 7th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I always tell it. I've anybody watching, I've told the story before. When I first met Jeremy, he brought Ron over to. I want to say that there was something going on at the studio. I don't know if it was rehearsal or if we were about to go out of town, but something was going on, and Ron was in the studio with Brown, and you were just kind of in the warehouse with me. And I want to say I asked, "What do you do?" or something like that, and you said comedy. And it's funny because when you said it, I believed you, but it didn't occur to me like, well, okay, what kind of comedy do you do, or this, that, the third, or just whatever. But I looked at it like, well, if you were running with Ron is one of those people. I believe Bert, Brown's cousin, brought Ron into the fold, but Ron's one of those people where very casual guy, but very highly skilled, and he is around people that are generally with the same passion, motivation, and all that. And so I was doing Splendid Radio on a different format. And then I asked you to come and, to just see what was up. And no, it was some cool little chemistry, man. You're the yin to my yang, I guess. You know what I'm saying? We are two very different outlooks on it, but there is some middle ground. So with all that being said, a lot of stuff going on in the news right now, man. A lot of stuff.
Well, it was just announced that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris as his vice president. As his running mate for president of the United States, and Kamala Harris will be the vice president. It's interesting because despite all the interesting things that's going on in the world right now, Kamala Harris, which was like an obvious choice. It's kind of funny that he even had these other options like Susan Rice. I feel like he always knew who was going to be his vice president, because when he was doing his debate against Bernie Sanders, he said, I think Bernie, I think he did it to back down Bernie, but he was like, oh yeah, my vice president my running mate will be a black woman. Everybody was like, what? And then he made Bernie say, oh, my vice president gonna be a woman too. But it's kind of funny because, of course, just like when Barack Obama was running for president, it was very monumental thing to see a black man, in that position. So a lot of people were just like, yo, I'm gonna vote for him no matter what he stands for, because he's a black man. And now with Kamala Harris being in a position to be a vice president, a lot of people, specifically black women, are like, yo, this is a black woman, so this is something to be proud of. But I would say her integrity, for anybody who's paying attention, is kind of shot, because she was a prosecutor for many years, and she was responsible for her job. A lot of people don't know exactly, I guess, but a prosecutor's job is to pretty much to works for the people, works for the city to lock people up, specifically black males, because that's where dominates the prison population, or just black people in general. you know. So it's kind of weird that she's saying a lot of things that sounds like it's just to pander or appease to black people when she locked the majority of them up during the when the numbers are steadily going up. So it's kind of it's a very weird dynamic, and you know, I don't know. Even I'm kind of torn about it. How you feel about it?
Man, I'm a different kind of guy, man. I look for the best in everybody, man. You know, that's been to my detriment, you know, a lot. But at the same time, following Biden, he definitely stuck both feet in his mouth several times, trying to be, you know, trying to be too cool. But then Hillary did it. She broke out the hot sauce. I don't look at what he's done as any more than Hillary busting out the hot sauce on the Breakfast Club. But I feel like this may be a moment for atonement. It may be a moment for Joe Biden, which he was probably one of the most right Democratic people once upon a time, you know, coming Southern boy, coming from the South, whatnot. But even this is one thing, my and I've said on the show a lot of times, my people are from Brookhaven, Mississippi. And one of the good things about visiting Brookhaven as a child, and then coming into my manhood and visiting, I realized that politics in the South are more of a cultural thing. And it's very different than it is in like Los Angeles or wherever. Now, people living in Los Angeles may think, well, okay, Brookhaven, Mississippi, you know, Mississippi people got hung and, you know, this, that, third, and whatever. And they could look at it like, okay, say for instance, for you, if I said, yo, Jeremy, roll me to Brookhaven, Mississippi to go and hang with my family. You know, they have a lot of dirt roads, no lights on them and whatnot. And you might be like, man, I'm not walking down this dirt road in Mississippi at nighttime, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Sound about right to me.
but the thing about it is, you can have people in the Klan in Mississippi that they're still neighborly to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's their politics. You know what I'm saying? And
Morning, nigger.
no, they're more sophisticated though. They're more, because they realize that economically they need the black people. And so it's not just an abrupt I would say this. I would say maybe the people that are really poor, they probably wear their politics on their sleeve like that. But the people that kind of have a little education, the people that have a little bit of money, they realize, you know what? Even though my cultural situation is my people first, black people second, this, that, and the third, if my neighbor who's a black man has a flat tire, I'm gonna help him. Right. If I've just slaughtered a couple hogs and slaughtered a cow or something like that, I'm gonna give maybe some of that to my neighbor who's black because they're good people. But on a Sunday, when we praying, when the white people are praying with their family and whatnot, there is a them against us type of mentality, but it's not so abrupt to where where it's just like, that's a black person. I'm not. It amazes me because white people. Okay, so one of the things that's a cultural thing of Brookhaven, Mississippi, say for instance, people sit on their porches. Now, when somebody drives down the road, everybody waves at everybody. You don't even know, like people don't even know me. I'm from LA, you know, and I'm talking white people, you know, but they wave and I wave. And it's one of those things of where it's just cool enough. So I say all that to bring it to the point. Joe Biden, I believe that he was raised with a lot of those Southern values, you know what I'm saying? And that
Where's Joe Biden from?
I don't know. But somewhere south though. I'll say he kind of talks like he's from. I don't think he was from New York or anything like that. But I've seen pictures and I've seen footage of him with, you know, white supremacists, you know, back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds about white. No, I was playing.
Yeah, but he's grown. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, or he may have grown. You know what I'm saying? Which
he absolutely has grown. He's absolutely grown.
Because I'll say this. How I think right now at age 49 versus how I thought at 19 or 21, like I didn't even care about politics at age 20 or age 25. And then maybe like around 27, I kind of got the gist of what politics were. And I remember, I think when Bush Sr. was getting elected, nah, it was Bush Jr. It was when Bush Jr. was going to get elected, maybe the second time or something like that. And I remember, you know, having this anxiety on me, feeling like, oh man, if he gets elected, we're going to be back in slavery. You know what I'm saying? But really, I really felt that way though. Like I was like, oh man, you know, we're going to go into camps. It's just going to be, you know, it's just going to be hard for Black people. And then when I realized that even though there can be change, but the change just doesn't happen that fast and that drastic or whatever. Like they do it, to my point, they do it in ways that are sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not just straight up like nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make it harder for these people to move into this area, or we're going to we're not going to let these loan programs be accessible to these people, but we're going to let these loan programs be accessible to those people. We're going to tell you, Black farmers, don't grow any crops, but we're not going to pay you. But we're going to tell these white farmers don't grow any crops, but there's going to be subsidies and there's going to be, you know, welfare for farmer type of situations and stuff like that. Yeah. So the racism is just more sophisticated now with everything else. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just an abrupt, just like rawr type of thing. But I think that sad enough to say, I think that she's good for him and he's good for her.
Right. It's funny because we're on I feel like we're on a cusp of economical change.
Bullshit.
So, what?
I said we on the cusp of some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even. I can't even say cusp because it's already here. I mean, because of Corona. I mean, the economy has been affected, definitely. Race plays a part. Obviously, which I tell you is the most interesting thing about Kamala and Joe Biden's relationship is, obviously she was just running against him to be nominated, as the Democratic nominee or whatever, and she accused him of being racist, and and then directly works with him.
No,
I mean, look though, it's kind of, I think they are good for each other because she was having trouble deciding whether she was gonna be Black or not, Black or Indian. She like sometimes she Black, sometimes she Indian. She was Indian throughout the 90s, and now she all of a sudden Black because it's 2020. You know what I'm saying? Which is great because Joe Biden is the person who decides who's Black or not. So he can finally give her Black card, and she can gladly accept it. And we have candidates.
And she can say he's not racist. You know what I'm saying?
I've been talking to him, and he's not as racist as I thought. Here's your Black card. There's a MasterCard. Here you go. Here's the MasterCard. Also, as something more pressing, a more pressing debate that happened, we had Rick Ross versus 2 Chainz on the Versus front. Did you watch that?
You know what? I saw a shot glass of it, but more comedically stimulating. I saw Afion Crockett and Spice Adams, man. I saw that. So that was a cool.
What happened there?
Well, I can always lean on them to give me the play-by-play of what actually happened if I didn't see that.
Right.
Oh, just the technical difficulty issues and the dress and everything. But those guys are geniuses, man.
What I think is crazy is that I think they need to kind of format it a little better, because it's just like, of course, you know, it is cool waiting week after week to see who's going to be the match, but we just had Snoop Dogg and DMX, you know what I'm saying, which was exciting. And then we had 2 Chainz and Rick Ross. I think that's like when you have the undercard as the main event. And it's just like, yo, we can't, you know what I mean? I bet you that's the feeling, because I never been to a Tyson fight, but I feel like that's what people felt like when they go to a Tyson fight and he knock them out in the first 3 minutes, and you like, I spent $2,000 on these seats, player. Like, you gonna fight somebody.
You read my mind. Yeah, you read my mind. I was thinking about Tyson when you were building it up. But you know, the thing about it is that they probably should have put some other verses after that and then built it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Because I don't think Snoop Dogg, in my opinion, I don't think Snoop Dogg can be beat. Do I think people make better music? Yeah, but a better catalog. You know what I mean? I mean, you talking about Jay-Z, Kanye West, I mean, Dr. Dre, but they like the same, so that's not fair. I mean, who can beat Snoop? Man, like, even the DMX thing was a wash.
No, well, it wasn't a wash. It was entertaining, and Snoop, and I will say Snoop had, well, I'm from LA, so it's kind of like I always look at myself, you know, I look at myself as I'm kind of biased or whatever.
I'm a traitor. I'm a traitor. What, is that how you do it? Is that how, am I doing it wrong? Wait.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Esteban will be proud of you, man. Esteban will be proud of you. Nah, you know what? DMX had some bangers though. I was you know, because you forget. You know what I'm saying? You forget. But you know, in my personal opinion, I feel that it was a little overproduced.
Which one?
The Snoop and the Snoop and DMX. It was
which in what way? You don't like them being together?
No, it wasn't that. It was just that they were like kind of really singing over their vocal. They had a lot of vocals going on and a lot of stuff. It wasn't. It was. It's kind of how artists perform today, like the new artists, where you're almost rapping over your own lyrics, kind of thing. And so that kind of threw me, you know. But
you really think DMX remembers his lyrics though? Like, they had to throw him a bone. Like, Snoop do this every day. You know what I'm saying? Snoop knew DMX's bars.
Man,
he knew DMX's stuff.
You know why?
Why?
Because DMX is dope, man. That's why.
Hey, I promise I'll never play. Like, I got stuff I want to say, but truth be told, I'll never disrespect DMX because I really do admire him that much. But there's some stuff I can say to just be like, huh? But nah, he definitely put up a good match. I just really can't think of who could defeat Snoop Dogg, like in a versus.
I met DMX. We were in it wasn't maybe Stockholm. It was somewhere where some funk was jumping off with the United States, because it was at the time when we were kind of getting into it. Well, we weren't. It was another country that was getting into it with Russia, and I think we were kind of back in the other country a little bit. But long story short, though, he was in the hotel lobby. He came up. He was cool. He was a good dude. He was a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll just say that. I'll say he was a regular dude. He wasn't too good. You know what I'm saying? We kicked it for a hot sec. You know. I'll say that the DMX and the Snoop Dogg was a good pairing. And then I think all of them need to be built up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah.
So let's talk about this WAP, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to go first, or you?
Yeah. So on Saturday, shout out to Omar. You know what I'm saying? Omar Goodness, the homeboy. He owns Taco Nazo. Very man. I've been eating his tacos since 2004. When I first met him, he said they were like crack, and I ain't stopped since. So you know what I'm saying? I ain't stopped since. And I can say I went from wanting to get free tacos to growing and feeling good because I could buy tacos to buying his tacos and feeding other people with his tacos or whatever. But anyway, I went to a spot on Saturday and I was listening to Sirius, and I was on one station, I heard the song. Then I flipped to another station, I heard the song, and I was like, oh man, this reminds me of like when I used to listen to FM radio, like when a hot song was on, it's like you couldn't escape it. You know, you flipping channels, you're trying to go to station to station. And oh man, when I heard Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion kind of trading off, and the enthusiasm behind their rapping was kind of dope. But when I started listening to what they were rapping about, I was like, oh my God, man. It's like, man, it would make Little Kim blush, man. And Little Kim was kind of, oh yeah.
No way.
What?
Lil Kim was disgusting.
Dude, Cardi B said, I'll spit in your mouth or spit in my mouth and choke me and all kind of stuff. All kind of extra stuff, man. I was like, man, that's pretty yeah, that's
I'm not a Lil Kim aficionado, but I'm sure she said some similar lines, but I'm not gonna say. This is my thing with the song. You know, first of all, you know, I do respect you know, women being open with their sexuality. You know what I mean? I think there's worse songs in hip hop just in general, as far as sexualized, objectifying, you know, just content in general. You know what I mean? Like, we know what to expect from Cardi B. She's never given us anything different. We know what to expect from Megan Thee Stallion, even though she seemed like she was getting more, a little more reserved. You know what I mean? Because she stepped into the limelight a little. You know, she got some big sponsorships behind her. She's like the girl. You know, she's where Cardi B was, and you know, no offense to anybody. And you know, you think she'd clean it up, especially after she just did a song with Beyonce, which I actually heard that Beyonce was a little apprehensive about releasing the song. And even though the Savage remix was released, she didn't promote it because I think she was still wary about the type of artist that Meg Thee Stallion is. And here we go. I think we see why Beyonce was hesitant to promote that song, because here we go. We have WAP, W-A-P, Wet A-P, because we got sponsors. And my only issue with the song for real is I felt like the song was whack. I feel like the beat was whack. I feel like these two artists who to be at the top of their game, but I feel like this always happens. Whatever you get the best of both worlds, they don't deliver. Like, I remember when I was waiting for Jay-Z and Nas when they ended the beef and they was like, yo, we're gonna do the song together. And it was like, huh. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne and Joel Santana. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dope. I was like, huh. You know what I'm saying? So I felt the same way. It just wasn't like, I think it's over promoted. I think the music video is overproduced for the type of song it was. Kylie Jenner. Did you hear about that?
Oh, you're talking the shot in the foot?
No. I said Kylie Jenner in the music video.
Oh no, but I know that Kylie Jenner was supposedly there when Meg Thee Stallion got shot in the foot.
Yeah, she was. They had just left a party. They had just left I guess a party at Kylie Jenner's house. Yeah, every time I say her name, I feel like I'm saying some weird stuff. But yeah, and Tory Lanez. I just it just don't feel right coming out of my mouth. But yeah, there's something to the Kardashian curse, you know, because that's the same week Kanye West continued to, you know, he was talking about the Get Out theory and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So he literally called
Chris Jenner.
he said he called Kris Jenner. He said that she was, what did he say? He pretty much said it was white supremacy and how he wouldn't let his kids be on Playboy. He said
Stop it.
he said if you're not too busy putting your children through a Playboy shoot, come to Wyoming. Come and get me. But I think it is something to that. But a lot of the internet was upset because Kylie Jenner was in the middle of the WAP music video, and they made a big deal out of it. Like they stopped the music just to show her going into a door. So the internet, Black Twitter specifically, got together to make a change.org petition to get Kylie Jenner removed from the music video. And I think it has like over 70,000 signatures. I could be wrong on that number.
Hey man, I love it, man. I love it. I will say this though. I recently reached a new level as far as being open to music and whatnot. And I felt like they were busting. I mean, I didn't care for the content, but they were busting. They didn't seem like, they were busting. It was just the content was horrible.
What was your favorite bar from the WAP?
There was no favorite bars. I felt they were busting. The content just had me thrown, but the enthusiasm behind it was dope. Like she was rapping. I couldn't say the rapping was whack. It was just the content was just over the top.
I mean, I like the visuals. You know what I mean? Just, it seemed aggressive. I mean, not even the sexual part of it, but just like the, as an artist, I have an artist eye. So I say as an artist, I was like, okay, they had the white tiger with Megan Stallion, her outfit and stuff like that. I think the choreography was too much. My favorite line was the macaroni line. I think it was Cardi B who said, like, when she's making love, it sounds like macaroni and cheese in a pot being stirred.
Yeah, man. Man, she just, man. It has a lot to do with who you're around, the bread. But then if we was, shoot, man, we might be rapping like that if we had that bread. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. As I've gotten older, I try not to judge too much because it's like, man, I used to look at the young rappers and I would say, like as a debate when I'd be out on the road with like Brown and whatnot, as a debate, I'd be like, oh man, these guys or whatever. And he's like, dude, they're 21 years old. Think about when we were 21 years old. If we were 21 years old and we had a house in the hills, multiple luxury cars, even if they were on part of our deal or whatever, like even if they were, you got the cars from an advance, you know what I'm saying? You can just never say what you'll do until you got, you have the resource. But I felt the song. I heard the song twice because I heard it on one station, then I flipped to the other one. But I just felt like, man, it was just too much, man. I just felt like, man, it was absolutely too much for me.
I mean, I'm. It's funny because I'm open to the content, but like I said, to me, the quality wasn't as good. But majority of America likes it. So, I'm in a minority. We're in a minority. But I'm glad you're open to music because I actually wanted to ask you, what did you feel? This is what I'm gonna lose you to. It's funny. What did you feel about the Beyonce is King? I mean, excuse me, the Black is King visual album, or did you not see it?
Oh man. I'm so far removed from any of that kind of stuff, man. That's why I got you, man. That's why I got you, man. I'm so far removed from any of that kind of stuff, man. I'm about my hustle right now, man. It's not too much I'm letting in. But educate me on it.
So Beyonce released it was a visual album that was based on The Lion King. And she released it on Disney Plus. Which I feel like Disney trying to get in on the the Black Lives Matter, trying to appeal to Black American culture, African culture.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. After I finished listening to that Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion stuff twice, I found myself not looking at the stations on Sirius, and I was tapped into the Disney station for, but I didn't even know it was Disney. But like they had a new Post Malone and Justin Bieber song and some stuff. And man, Post Malone is dope, dude. He's dope. Like, man, I tried to judge him by the hungover dude that I'm looking at walking off of jets with his eye just face puffy, walking off of jets, getting Grammy Awards, getting all this, everybody saying he's the dopest dude in the world. And me prejudging him based on his what somebody looks like after they done won all them Grammys, and you got hit songs and whatever.
Right.
But the music he makes is dope, man. I can't say that it's not. It's popular music. It's like really, it's really popular music.
Do you judge him? This is where I would say with Post Malone. Do you judge him as a rapper or as a singer?
He's a popular artist. He doesn't do either. It's like somebody. Okay, back in, let's say, like the late 80s to early 90s, you would have kids, mostly urban kids, that wanted to act. And then when they wanted to act, they would take like a hip hop dance class, and then they take a class that had a little bit of rapping, and it was like urban 101 type of thing. When I look at Post Malone, I don't look at him as, okay, he's this R&B singer, or he's this soul singer, or he's this rapper, or he's this what. I look at him like, man, he was trained a little bit in all of it, and he just rolls it up the most palatable, mild palatable way. But he does it good.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't look at him as a rapper, because I don't think I've ever heard him rap. I just kind of, in his songs, I just kind of hear melodies and decent beats. So, I mean, how do you?
What you gonna say?
No, I said, how do you see him?
I would say he caught my attention, but I didn't think he would be this big or influential. But he definitely caught my attention with White Iverson. Because it was just like the concept of like I'm like, first of all, I'm actually a AI fan. I'm an AI fan. You understand? I was raised in the 90s, and then I hit puberty in the 2000s, and that's why I'm like, Iverson to me changed fashion, especially in the NBA. You know what I mean? But just from headbands to sleeves,
cornrows,
everything.
Cornrows.
I mean, yeah,
urban wear.
He made it. So when I think of Iverson, I'm like, all right, watch your mouth. So when he said White Iverson, I'm like, where is he going with this? But he caught my attention, and when I see him, I'm like, this dude's stupid. So I took it as a parody act. You know what I'm saying? Like as a joke, and I just didn't think that he would be. Because I think he's doing Justin Timberlake numbers low key. You know what I mean? And it's funny because it's almost like he's giving you the opposite. He's giving you like this slow, drugged out, thing. But the type of music he makes, it reaches everybody. You know what I mean? Like Celebration was played at graduations all over last year. Like that was the #1 graduation song last year. Ain't that crazy? So I can't knock him as much as I want to.
If you gave me $1 million right now and you said, name one Post Malone song, I would not have $1 million. But I've heard No. I've heard his music, and I think his music is dope. But I think it's dope for like where we are. You know what I'm saying? That it's dope. It's dope for where we at. You know what I'm saying?
He makes dope quarantine music.
Nah, but I would say before the quarantine. I say around in January, I was on kind of a road trip, and I was listening to some of the music, and I was like, okay, let's do this, you know. So yeah,
He,
man.
like I said, when he made White Iverson, I was like, this has got to be a joke. The lyrics are White Iverson. They said I was balling when I was young. You gonna think about me when I'm gone. I want that ring. Like he said, dang, something like that ring I never won. I was like, all right, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
what are you trying to
yeah,
say?
see. So
What
you
are you trying
listening
to
to
say?
it too hard, man. You listening to it too hard, man.
I listen to everything hard, man.
Oh
I love
no,
it.
man, you're gonna be disappointed. You gotta just listen to it eat light and easy. You know what I'm saying? And just
You listen to Pop Smoke?
no, I heard a couple of his interviews, but yeah, no, I can't say no, can't say I've heard. But tell me this though. Have you been following? Okay, so you remember about a month ago or so, there was some black I don't want to use, that's not the right word to use. Organized. That's what it that's a good word. Organized. There's some black organized people, and they went to Georgia. And so they walked down this part of Georgia in this road, and they were very vocal, like, we're gonna be here. And if there's any Klansmen or just whatever, we're gonna be here and we're gonna walk down this road or whatever. And then Tariq Nasheed,
I like him.
he pulled up homeboy who was walking, talking about, we hear Klansmen, where you at? Because they all had guns, like all the organized black people. Like they basically got like, a couple hundred black people to come and organize and to go to Georgia. And then since Georgia, I guess their gun laws, you can you can carry your weapons outside, rifles. I don't know if they had handguns, but I know they had rifles, whatever. They were walking, and they were kind of like doing this little theatrical thing where, if you in the woods, we here, you know what I'm saying, type of thing, whatever. And then Tariq Nasheed showed homeboy, man, the main dude who was just talking all the stuff. He was sitting behind Trump at a Trump rally.
Oh.
I mean, it's no way. It was him too. It was him, because I'm always one to say, whatever. But that's just where we are right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, it's just so many smoke and mirrors, man. It's just so many.
Yeah, I think it could be a good thing in a way, where, we holding each other accountable, but I don't think you should write people off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just accountability. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you said, like, if you just because it that's the only thing that helps keep people like aware of the stuff that they saying and doing. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, if you present yourself this one way and you do something else, because we all are flawed. You know what I mean? I don't know. It sounds like I'm caping for this.
Nah, you sound like a grown up Jeremy, man. This is a different Jeremy than about a year and a half ago. No, you
say
go
that?
hard,
There's
man.
What's different? What's different?
No, you go hard, man. You go hard. When you go when you would go hard on people, you go hard on them. It was. There's more compassion. There's more compassion going on right now, man.
I'm not
saying it's bad.
No, I know. I don't. Maybe I say that I don't feel like there's any difference in my stances. At least I would say since 2015. This is the way I've kind of been, just because of, just I would say certain things happen in my life that kind of open my my viewpoints and stuff like that. But I think holding people accountable, like, I think that's where we as a society. I don't like to cape for, because sometimes when you say like, we got a lot of social justice warriors and the cancel culture. You know what I mean? I don't want to, big up those people too much, because I don't believe in, cancel culture stuff, whatever. But I do believe in holding people accountable. Like, hey, yeah, you said this thing. You said this. This is what happened. Especially our politicians. because they will roll either way and think it's all good. Meanwhile, they're they making money, profiting off of our ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And that's I think it's important.
Kanye West.
Kanye is somebody who we should continually hold accountable as much as possible because, man, he holds us accountable. He holds us accountable because he will literally say this thing, but then drop this music. And we're like, should we forget the thing because this song is hot?
Man, I'm still kind of perplexed with this whole presidential thing, and I'm not sure. And I think that my mother, rest in peace, she said something good. She said, there's people that are paid far more money than you that are far more educated to deal with certain topics, and so it's really just a waste of time for you to even give it your attention. And that conversation was a conversation that we had when I was talking to her about Bush getting elected. And I was like, man, he's gonna get elected. I'm like, man, we're gonna be slaves, and just going on and on and on. And with Kanye, I just kind of feel like it confuses me, because in one way I feel like he does it to sell records and to be relevant. But then I feel that whether he's aware of it or whether he's aware or not, I feel that there's a more diabolical thing that's like, and I don't know if that diabolical thing is a byproduct of him.
Absolutely. I think you're on the money.
Yeah, a byproduct. But I feel like he's helping Donald Trump, man. I feel like he's helping Donald Trump, even if it is under the guise of creating a smokescreen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Kanye, the same thing that got him to this point, he's listening to that thing in him, but I don't think it's beneficial to all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing that he's missing, is that compassion with becoming a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you get to that status without taking advantage of people in some way, shape, or form. And I think Kanye himself he has the ability to be very compassionate, but I think the people that he's around might be influencing some of his decision making, even though he said it's not. But I've noticed that there's things that he would say that would be somebody else's opinion, and he'll make it seem as if he thought of it, kind of like our president. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, okay, so I met him like twice. The first time I met him, we had an argument, and basically he told
really?
Yeah, no, because he told me that I lied. He was telling me that I lied about something, and it was something that I wasn't lying about. Like I totally, like I had the proof with me. I just hadn't gone and gotten it. Long story short, I went to a studio where he was. A mutual friend was working with him. He's worked with him forever. This was probably in the maybe 2006, maybe 2005, 2006 or so. And between 2004, 2006, whatever. So I went to the studio, and the friend had produced a song that was on a record, and he had rapped on a remix. But we didn't. But on the remix, he wasn't on the album version, but he was on the remix version. But the reason he wasn't on the album version was because he was never, like, we didn't present it to him to be on the album version. He put himself on the album version. And so Kanye, but
about Kanye.
so Kanye was like, people people used to didn't think that I could rap, and he was naming other artists that would act like they were recording him and they didn't record him. And he says, I know what kind of people you are, and just all this, that, and the other. And he's like, if you guys were going to use him, it would have been on the album and it wouldn't be on a remix. But and then I'm like, man, I have no reason. And this is like early Kanye, well, earlier Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
Year?
Like I said, between like 2004, 2006.
Okay.
In 2004, 2006. And so I got frustrated, like, man, I kind of felt like he got me, because I'm like, dang, like, I'm not a groupie, I'm not a super fan or just whatever. I'm here to get my homeboy. And my homeboy was like, oh, my homeboy was kind of proud. And that's why he was kind of telling him that he was on the stuff. And then Kanye was like, well, if you're not on the album, you're not on the remix. They're just telling you that. And I'm just like, no, I'm not. And so I actually went out to the car and got the wax, because my boy had gave him the CD, but I actually had some wax in my car, and the wax did have the version that my dude was on. But then it was crazy, because I kind of felt like, man, I don't even know this guy, and his energy got me into an exchange with him. And it, like, I don't argue with people, dude. Like, it was weird. It was very weird to me, man. It was very weird. But to fast forward, you know, several years into the present, you just have somebody who, man, he's just thrown into that world. And the thing about it is, the world that he's in demands a lot from anybody who's in it. You know what I'm saying? Like like, it's not just as easy as you being able to have all this material stuff, or you to have all these hits, or you to have all this stuff, and then you just have it. You know what I'm saying? Prince couldn't have it.
Yeah, but he embraced a bigger, like, he obviously bit off more than he could chew. If he was just a musician who was suffering from a mental episode, I could see more sympathy in his favor. But he's actively pursuing being the president of the United States. You know what I mean? And he's not, like you said, he's not as educated on certain issues that he's trying to be a decision maker upon. I mean, we almost prevent it. And you got into an argument with the future president of the United States.
Yeah, but the thing about it, though, I don't even think he wants to be the president. Like, all of it is just theatrics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just all theatrics. But I feel like he was sucked into that world, and he just, before he knew it, he's just a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think,
but he's actively pursuing it. That's the only difference. Like, you know how they do the memes? They be like, nobody. And then Kanye West, yeah, Kanye 2020. It's like, bruh, even in your hypothetical run, you said 2024, I think. So, like, you don't even fit here.
I think,
like, you don't fit.
But when you have that rebel personality, they just, I know people that have personalities similar to him, dude, and they'll just do anything. Literally, they'll do anything. Like they'll do, and when I say do anything, they'll do anything. Literally, they'll just do anything. And
I believe it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's because he's not going to be president. The only thing that he's going to do is take some of the black vote. If he would have been successful with what he was attempting to do, he would have took some of the black vote away from Biden. But I'll tell you the funny thing, though. If the electoral college chooses who the president is,
right,
how does Kanye matter anyway?
Well, that's the real question, is how does any of our votes matter in that way? I mean, I understand the purpose of the electoral college, but, I mean, how many times have we seen I hate when people say, oh, well, that's the president that we voted for. You voted for him. I'm like, nobody voted for Trump. Like, literally, he lost the popular vote, which means that, he shouldn't necessarily be the people's favorite. So therefore, if there's like outcry for anything he does, that's because the majority of people didn't want him. And that's like obvious. But I don't understand why people it's like a tug of war when it's not. there's no coincidence that on his inauguration, that was the biggest march globally up until Black Lives Matter. I mean, that's like, it's not, if somebody loses the popular vote, that means they're not as popular. But I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't know why people forget that on such a consistent basis. But with Kanye, I mean, I do kind of appreciate the entertainment value that comes along with it, because it shows how much of a joke a lot of the politics are.
The right trolling, the trolling or the entertainment value? Because would you say
well, I'm saying I do kind of enjoy it, because you guys, when we grew up we both part of the public school education system, we took these things very seriously.
Yeah,
we didn't, when you're listening to music, let's say you're listening to, whatever, TLC, whatever, and then, you hearing, your teacher talk about, Bush or Clinton and all this stuff. These are two separate things. You never thought they would overlap in this way. Now we have where you have, somebody attempt, which it wouldn't be bad if their integrity was in check. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a gradual thing where, kind of like David Banner, for example. Mm-hmm. David Banner was this guy who, I don't want to say a victim, but he was a product of his environment. Obviously, making songs that are very raunchy and about women and, just, whatever, the Southern type of stuff. I'm trying to be nice with these words.
Stuff.
Which is understandable. But obviously, when you get more money, it gives you access to a different quality of life. And you get to see things like, okay, now I have influence. So now I'm going to use my influence to help the community, help the environment. And it changed. You can see in the way he dressed, the way he talked, the things he talked about, things he cared about. And then he kind of became more of a activist. And it's admirable. But when Kanye West, the problem is you see him jump all over the place. Like, he started off with Jesus Walks, like, oh man, this is somebody to admire, and then he started making, more raunchy music to the point where he goes, all I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe, right? So, I mean, I know I've jumped a lot of time, but I'm saying, like, that song that he made with Lil Pump, look, 2 Chainz, yeah, but Kanye said, he said, last birthday, she got you a new sweater. He said, I put it on, gave her a kiss and told her, do better. Last week, I went, he said, I took her to the West End, go get your best friend. You know what I mean? Like, and then you gotta understand, the song he made with Lil Pump, I'm gonna be blunt right now. The song is called You're Such a Fucking Hoe. That song is not even 2 years old. And since then, he has dedicated his entire life to Jesus Christ, and now running for president, it's just such frequent changes in who he is and what he stands for. It's hard to get behind him, even if you really, really, really want to.
I don't think anyone wants to, man. And that could be very arrogant. That could be very arrogant of me to say
Twitter
that.
disagrees with you. These little white kids want this man to be the president of their lives, and they want him to pass a law to make Yeezys mandatory dress shoes.
Oh man. Well, hey man, shoot, man. God bless him, man. I hope that he gets, I hope it work. I hope his life works out for him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So where are you at with as far as the quarantine and the coronavirus and plans for the future? Like, how do you feel? You feeling positive? You feeling weary?
I think weary is a waste of time. I think we are where we are. You know what I'm saying? And it's I talk to my dad about it all the time, and he comes from a place of where he grew up watching Westerns and seeing the villain get, the villain gets the short end of the stick, and the guy who's the underdog comes out and he's like, yay, and he gets the girl and rides off on the horse and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel that we're in a place where it's Twilight Zone, man. Everything that's down is up, everything that's up is down. As far as quarantining, I'm just pretty much to work and home. You know what I'm saying? To the office and home, not really any extracurricular. And still not bad enough to eat at a restaurant, you know, in the restaurant, at the restaurant, outside or whatever. I've just known people to get this stuff and nobody can, like, only one person. So out of like 8 people that I've known to get it, only one person tracked it to where they got it from legitimately.
Wow.
And that was from a family member that brought it into the house, and then everybody in the house got it.
Wow.
And so, you know, I just feel like there's just so much we don't know that, you know, I'm just gonna lay as low as I can. I kind of slowed my quality of life down. More appreciative, you know what I'm saying? I spend a lot more time with pops, you know what I'm saying? I you know, I cook, you know what I'm saying? I cook more, you know, I'm not just, you know, I don't think because I'm hungry, I don't just think, okay, order some food or just whatever. I literally think about, man, okay, if you order some food, you got somebody handling your food that like you have no idea. And like, okay, one of my nightmares has been imagine somebody in the kitchen. They may be wearing the people at restaurants didn't start wearing masks till about 2 months ago. Like it was no masks in restaurants, no nothing. Somebody coughs over, let's say, meals being prepared. I really don't think they're gonna say okay, because I think that they might get some crazy looks in the kitchen, but I think that food is gonna go where that food is gonna move on to where it was intended to move on to.
I think depending on the restaurant, because I would say we probably split right down the middle as far as people who are conscious and actively, you know, nervous, and people who are like, you know, caution to the wind. I mean, I think somebody will report you. Maybe you're right.
No,
maybe.
Now somebody would report you. I'm talking about.
Okay.
No, 2 months ago. I'm talking about whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. And you know, and I have friends that I have some friends that, you know, they wear masks when they have to go into a store or something like that. But but I got one friend who's like, man, I take vitamins, you know what I'm saying? It's you know, I got, you know, my faith and my vitamins and whatever. But then I look at that like religion. Like, man, you can't tell somebody that their religion, you know, if whatever works for them, that's just where we at. You got to let people kind of just, you know, be in their space. But
absolutely,
I feel like even with the mask where you could blow a lighter out or just whatever, or breathe through it and just whatever, I feel that it's some protection. You know what I'm saying? I feel that it's like, to me, I look at it like, if I was to cough, it will be something catching my cough to some, but if I was gonna cough or sneeze, I would probably try to go for my, you know, go for my wing or just go for whatever. But you know, yeah, but dude, I'll tell you something. I remember going to Costco like the right before the shutdown, and I had this guy coughing behind me. And I remember feeling as insulted, as somebody farting in front of you or something like that. I'm like, dude, this is disrespectful. Like, man, like, you know, I turned around, I didn't say nothing to him, but I turned around and looked at him, like, he didn't put his hand over his, he didn't do nothing. He's standing like coughing, and I'm like, man, that's just where we at right now.
Yeah, I think culturally we did need this anyway, because I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation and we be looking like, yo, that's like disgusting, or, you know, or, I mean, but even like when I was growing up, they used to always tell kids, cover your mouth when you cough, right? You go, meanwhile, the germs are here. And then you go, open the door. And if you didn't, go, like say go, they be like, cover your mouth when you cough. But this is safer than this. So now I think we evolved somewhere. I feel like in the 2000s overall, people started doing the dab, you know. But now we've evolved, and I don't think this part is, well, for now it's permanent. For now it's permanent. But we're like, okay, we need to watch out for the next person by wearing these masks. I know for me, I returned to work. I returned to work right when unemployment. I beat it. I beat the curve. I was like, nah, But you know, I'm currently working on the CBS lot, Television City, and they test us 3 times a week. They're like, we look like welders at work. Like the moment a mask comes off, that means everybody else, cuckoo. Like we like Iron Man, and they got gloves. You know, and they gave us 3 different types of tests. They got the rapid test, you get the blood test, and then you just get the swab. And like they if you, let's say you reported to work, you did not do the test, it's like that's like lockdown for real. Even though these things are these are annoying procedures, they're necessary. I think it's, like I said, it's creating a level of accountability that's a little bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because meanwhile, you know, I can't tell how many times I've been talking to people and you get and they're like, oh, you're going to do that right in my face. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go to HR on the homie, because they're going to be like, wait. You mad because dude dig up his nose? You know what I'm saying? And then what you say, if you address somebody who dug up their nose in front of you, they'd be like, I didn't do that. Now you look crazy. I'm saying, but now they will fire that person on the spot, no questions asked. Like, wait, Mr. Scippio saw you digging in your nose. Matter of fact, they won't even tell you. They just be like, can we talk to you for a bit? Yeah. Matter of fact, go home. We'll call you.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that part. Kind of like that part.
You know what? I look at it similar to how flying was after 9/11. Now, before 9/11, I could get to the airport 30 minutes before my plane took off. Luggage get on, I get on, it's all good, you know, wham, you good to go. After 9/11, international flights was like a strong 3 hours. And then I remember a domestic flight. Matter of fact, we flew to do a show with the Roots at Duke. And I remember I got to the airport 2 hours ahead of time and still missed the flight. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say that I felt more comfortable with the procedures that they were taking, being that we did have a threat versus everybody just kind of trying to ignore, you know, what was going on, you know, in the world or whatever. So.
Yeah, I actually remember watching movies where people will walk, they'll walk their loved ones to the gate and be like, like, no, don't go. Like,
oh yeah,
I got to. You know
I saw that. I remember those days.
You do that now, you get tackled.
Oh yeah, no, it ain't even no. You're not gonna get, man. Furthest you're gonna get is to the security line. Like if you're really in love, y'all can walk with each other to the security line, and then, you know, before that. Yeah, but nah, man, good looking out, man. Mr. Hodges, man, we tried to pull him in, man. It was just the technical difficulties, the ins and outs. But we got a very interesting guest next week, man. I'm not gonna drop it though. I'm not gonna put any bad luck on it so far, but we got a cool one. But nah, man, this was Splendid Radio on Farside TV. Good looking out, Mr. Scippio. Anything you want to shout out?
I got some things that I've been working on, so I'm actually proud that they're finally gonna come out. I was in a music video. I was in I think I said it last week. Voyeur magazine did a write-up on me, so that should be coming out sometime this week. But everything else, jeremyscippio.com, Jeremy Comedy on Instagram. And man, I love, you know, I like being able to just catch up with you sometimes, so that's cool.
Yeah, nah, vice versa, man. Well, nah, man, shoot, have a good rest of the week. We'll tap back in next week. Splendid Radio on Farside TV. Peace.